She had been raised to believe humans were destroyers, cold, violent creatures who took what they wanted and crushed whatever stood in their way. So when Princess Talia was forced into a political marriage with a towering human war hero, she braced herself for the worst night of her life. But instead of fear, something else happened. He stepped into her crystal chamber, removed every symbol of power, and offered her a choice she didn't even know she was allowed to have. And that moment changed everything. If stories like this, where humanity surprises the galaxy, pull you in, make sure to hit like so more people discover it. Subscribe for more HFYtales every week, and share this with a friend who loves sci-fi with heart. It helps the channel more than you might think. Princess Talia had never felt so small. The crystal walls of her wedding chamber glowed softly, but instead of comforting her, the light only made her silver skin look even more fragile. Every story she'd been told since childhood echoed in her mind: humans take, humans break, humans dominate, and tonight one of them was coming for her. She pressed herself against the cold wall as footsteps approached. Heavy, deliberate, human, her breath hitched. There was no escape. The treaty had sealed her fate. She'd been dressed in shimmering Vidian silk, her hair braided in ceremonial flowers, and told to smile for peace. But underneath all that beauty was terror so sharp it made her tremble. The door opened. Captain Devon Ross stepped inside, and Talia's heart nearly stopped. He was enormous, broad shoulders, powerful build, eyes like a winter storm. Every warning she'd ever heard screamed at her to run. "Please, don't," she whispered, backing into the wall. "I'll do anything. Just don't hurt me." But instead of advancing, Devon froze. His expression shifted, first surprise, then something softer, almost wounded. Slowly, he raised both hands, palms forward. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said quietly. "You have my word." Devon didn't move any closer. If anything, he made himself smaller, stepping back, lowering his shoulders, sitting in the nearby chair as though he feared startling her. It was such a strange sight that Talia almost forgot to breathe. This was the man they said would claim her, control her, break her spirit, yet he was removing pieces of himself, his medals, his weapon belt, even the rigid military jacket that marked him as a conqueror. Each item landed softly on the table, like he was peeling away the very things that frightened her most. "Talia," he said gently, "whoever warned you about humans, they didn't tell you everything." She swallowed hard. "They said human males take what they want." A flicker of pain crossed his face. "Some might, but not me. And not any human who deserves the word husband." She stared, confused. He spoke as if she had power, real power. "Consent," he continued, meeting her violet eyes. "It means you choose what happens to your body. Treaty or no treaty." "That's not possible," she whispered. "The council says I belong to you." Devon shook his head. "Maybe in your laws, not in mine. I volunteered for this marriage for one reason: to give you a choice. Even if it takes weeks. Even if it takes forever." The monster she feared was offering freedom. Morning arrived softly, painting the crystal walls in gentle shades of gold. Talia woke with a start, unsure for a moment if last night had been a dream. But then she smelled something unfamiliar, warm, sweet, comforting in a way she couldn't place. She edged toward the door, cracked it open, and froze. Devon stood in the small kitchen space, humming quietly as he cooked. No armor, no weapons, just a simple shirt, rolled sleeves, and a calm focus that made him look almost ordinary, almost human in a way her teachers had never described. "You're awake," he said without turning. "I'm making breakfast. Do you prefer sweet or savory?" she bliked. "I don't know those words." He smiled over his shoulder. "Sweet is fruit, honey. Savory is spices, salt. Which sounds nicer?" "Sweet," she answered softly, stepping inside but staying close to the doorway, just in case. "Perfect. French toast it is?" He set out fruit, crystal melon, strawberries, all arranged with simple care instead of royal formality. Not for tradition, for her. Talia took a bite of the warm bread, and her eyes widened. It was strange and wonderful all at once. "You like it?" Devon asked, hopeful. "It's..." She paused, surprised at her own honesty. "It's beautiful." For the first time, fear loosened its grip. 3 weeks of fragile peace shattered in a single heartbeat. Talia woke to the piercing scream of alarm sirens, the kind used only for war-level emergencies. Red emergency lights pulsed across the crystal walls, turning her room into a storm of shadows. Her pulse spiked instantly. "Devon!" she cried. He was already at the door, fully dressed, tension carved into every line of his body. "There's been an attack at the spaceport," he said. "Extremists, both human and Vidian. They're trying to sabotage the treaty. We need to move." Another explosion shook the palace. Talia stumbled, and without hesitation, Devon caught her. His hands were steady, grounding. "I've got you. Stay close." The corridors were chaos, guards rushing, nobles panicking, the air thick with fear. Devon positioned himself slightly ahead of her, shielding her with his body as they navigated through the madness. Each step made her realize something uncomfortable. She trusted him more than anyone else in the palace. They reached the reinforced safe room. Inside, her mother, the queen, barely looked up too, consumed by political strategy. Devon, however, didn't see politics. He saw her. His commanding officer called him away, ordering him to the command center. He hesitated, torn, until Talia whispered, "Go, I'll be safe." He left. But not without one last promise. "Red button? I'll come for you, orders or not." The safe room felt colder once Devon left. Voices buzzed around Talia, advisors arguing, nobles whispering, her mother issuing commands, but none of it anchored her. Her fingers stayed curled around the communication device in her pocket, the tiny link to the one person who had treated her like more than a bargaining chip. Hours dragged by before the all-clear sounded. The doors opened and people poured out in a wave of anxious relief. Talia searched every face, her heart pounding harder than during the explosions. Then she heard it. "Princess Talia!" Devon pushed through the crowd, shirt torn. Dust streaked across his skin, a thin cut on his cheek. He looked like he'd run through fire to get to her, and maybe he had. Relief hit so strong her knees weakened. He dropped to one knee, bringing himself to her eye level, his hands hovering near her shoulders but never touching without permission. "Are you hurt?" His voice was raw, frantic. "Did anyone come near you?" She shook her head. "I'm fine. Are you?" "Only scratches," he said, breath unsteady. "But I had to see you." I needed to know. Around them, the crowd watched, but for once, Talia didn't shrink back. She stepped closer, tiny hand resting lightly over his. "Devon, thank you for coming back." His breath caught. "Always." And in that moment, fear finally broke and something new began.